You guys ready to fucking rock?
Ready to go, man.
All right, let's do it. I don't want to sound like
How now, brown cow?
Unique New York. Unique New York.
All
right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. This is episode 25. My name is Jamie.
Yes, Satan? Oh, I'm sorry. You sounded like someone else. Alrighty then. Come to me, jungle friends.
I just get attacked out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm Johnny Doe.
My name is Kenny. This motherfucker.
Dude, the
fact that
Episode 25! We made it!
The fact that I even knew he was going to fucking say that still threw me. It still throws me off every time.
You're welcome.
I never...
Usually they don't know what I'm going to say before I say
Yeah.
it. That time because I didn't have one set up. But I just pulled the other ones out of my ass.
But even though when I did before in the past, knew what you were going to say, still throws me off.
Oh, because it's funny when you hear it kind of...
I never get tired of how disappointed you always sound when you introduce yourself on the show. Because we're all excited. Oh, I'm Jamie. I'm Johnny Doe. I'm Chris. And then you're like...
I'm Kenny.
Like, I'm Kenny. Like
These motherfuckers.
God damn it.
They talk me into coming back again.
I guess I have to put my name on this bullshit.
Yeah, we got a little blackmail material on him. So
There's a lot of blackmail material.
In the raw cuts. Don't worry about it.
Saving all the outtakes on one video. If you don't show up, I'm releasing this shit.
You should see the shit we cut out.
Oh, yeah. No, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
It's,
definitely that should never be shown
Yeah.
anywhere.
How was your guys' weeks? You guys have anything new going on in your lives that you can talk about or want to talk about, or just you guys are good?
No, just
same old shit.
So I work a full-time job, and I normally only have 2 days off, but like they fucked up and they scheduled me 3 days off this week.
Ooh.
But I have like 60 something hours of vacation, so I just use vacation. For
Nice.
those hours.
Yeah, go fuck
I'm
yourself.
taking it, dude.
Yeah.
My manager comes up and he goes, "Hey, did you ask like the person who scheduled you like why you didn't get scheduled?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "I'm just gonna take this
fuck
one."
It.
He's like, "Okay."
It's none of your goddamn business,
Right?
buddy.
really quick, though, because of the thing that's happened on Sunday, have you guys had increased sales from that?
Yes.
That's crazy to me.
The game
crazy.
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
TVs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as like the holidays, but it goes up there for sure.
Nice.
Because everyone, this is one of those.
I need a new TV
it's
to
one of
watch
those
the
times-
sports ball.
Yeah, it's one of those times people will wait for this time of year just like they will wait for a Black Friday and Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I know a couple people
So
that do
there's
that.
like deals, right?
There are, yeah, absolutely.
okay.
The manufacturers know what they're doing. Like it's intentional.
Capitalism. Yeah, we want free market.
I'll come
Just
see you
to be-
Friday
Just to be
night.
clear.
There you go.
Oh,
Wait,
you're gonna meet in the
no, I have
back
Friday.
parking lot?
I have Friday off.
Saturday.
We can go on Friday. We can just go. Like
Okay.
that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Just depends on how hammered
Okay,
I am.
you
by
know,
the-
you
by
guys
the
can do
time
your
you get off.
sales deals on your own time.
Yeah, we can. We sure can. Right now, I think it's time to talk about
Oh,
we got a cool a little article here about
Fucking punch you.
NASA
now space.
about
No?
space
No,
science.
science, not space.
What does NASA stand for?
This one's not.
National Aeronautical Space Association.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
You just wanted to.
You
Try
just want to
that,
see if I actually knew it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Science is what it stands for.
Ding, ding, ding.
science.
So the pole's reversing.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
you want
pull-
to talk into this
yeah,
one? Or
we
you want
can-
me to bring it up?
We can bring it up.
See what we got here.
Bring it up.
Yeah, so Johnny sent this to me. This is actually really interesting. Apparently, this happens every 300,000 years.
Yeah, I think that was.
The North and South Pole actually fucking
Reverse.
Apparently, we're well overdue because it's been 780,000 years since the last time the poles reversed. So it's actually a naturally occurring phenomena. I guess it happens because of the way the Earth's core moves around. So there's different points, and I guess during a transitional period, I'll move down to just the graph.
Well,
here.
before you do that, real quick, I just was curious on how that pole moves so far. Like that little stripe pole, like I just want to know, like, so when that moves to the south, like, how does it move like all the way around the world? Like, I think the viewers have that question at home as well.
There's
There's a guy named Larry Newitt that moves it.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's an elevator. It just goes.
Okay, so it goes straight down, straight through.
And the other one comes.
It's actually
gotcha.
Yeah, it's actually
they're
really,
like on a counterweights and they just fucking switch.
No, it actually is really long and it goes all the way through the earth.
Gotcha.
And so you just push it down and it just sticks out that far on the other side.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's
Gotcha.
science.
All
That's
right.
how it works.
All right, continue.
So apparently, I'm gonna just go down to the pretty part where you guys can kind of visualize here. The pictures are really small. I can't fucking blow those up any, but it shows a north and south pole on this graph here, and then it shows one while it's going through upheaval, they call it, into the new north and south pole. So what happens is north and south poles will shift and pop up at random areas, so it makes this really, really strange magnetic field around the Earth. It's not just this one that's got a positive and a negative. So you'll all of a sudden get magnetic norths that will pop up in different areas of the world.
Now, you were saying earlier to me that it wasn't affecting the south as much or something like that?
Well, it's not affecting the people below the southern hemisphere because the magnet is always still up north. So if you imagine like the difference between the magnetic north in Canada, where it is now, versus it moving eventually over into Russia where they think it's going to move, if you're down in South America and you're looking at that perspective, that's still like that. That's like an inch. That's like 2 degrees of a compass needle.
Yeah, I got you.
But if you're in Canada and it's directly above you, and Russia's like 90 degrees this way, that's a fucking complete. That's a mind fuck.
Weird,
then
right?
you're fucked.
That's weird.
So
and also, weren't they saying because of this too, it could affect like GPS and all that stuff?
Well, not yet. It's not at a point where
it will.
Right? No,
well, no, it's not at a effect where it's going to put GPS or smartphones or anything like that, because GPS is a point-to-point tracking system. It doesn't use north and south like it's
satellite based, right?
It's satellite based, yeah. GPS, global positioning satellite, right? But then also even with like the GPS they use for cell phone towers, that's a triangulation site GPS. So it's still using 3 points to map out where you are in an XYZ. Well, I guess just an X and Y, but so it's not going to affect those yet. But I think when it gets into this, where it's all crazy like
that's when it would probably
maybe if that affects the satellite orbit or something. But I don't know. They even said in this article that it's
they don't know what it's going to do. So some
be
scientists were saying it will fuck things up. Other ones were saying it wouldn't. I read that part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was talking about like animals.
Oh,
there is in this article it does
like
actually
for migrations
talk about,
and stuff.
Yeah.
You're talking about?
They don't know if they can reconfigure their navigational instincts, I guess. So we don't know that there could be a problem for migratory birds and things of that nature.
And it's moving at this point about 40 miles a year is what I remember reading too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So interesting. Could be affecting some of the weather and stuff too. Who knows? I don't know.
Interesting article. I just thought
it was just something new that I've never heard.
Cool
really.
ass science shit. So I saw down here the author. Her name is was it Sarah Burrows?
Yeah.
I clicked on that and this just brings up a bunch of other stories by her. So I Googled her and I found this right here. She is basically going into her adventure into polyamory with her partner, right?
Oh, yes.
But if you read this right here, she's a libertarian.
Well, of course.
And I read this article.
But of course, Jamie.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because it's all her thing. It's a lot about the individual and individual needs, and it's really fucking cool. If you guys are like us, you should read it. I'm not saying that you're gonna all of a sudden become polyamorous,
Right.
But
I knew what you meant.
yeah, polyamorous. But I mean,
Yeah, if you're like us.
Exactly.
but it's fucking cool. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's on the other videos too that we can't release. So.
Womp womp.
All right, but that is cool. You
Yeah,
know, most
I thought it
people
was
don't
neat.
really look at who it is.
Pole
If it's
flipping.
someone I don't really know, and I'm like, whatever.
So I'm gonna bring basically. I couldn't the whole China trade war thing with our president fucking confused me, because if you read some of these articles, what it says is that he is going to tax $200 billion of Chinese goods that are being imported to the U.S., so being exported from China. And then we're hoping that that China doesn't retaliate by then
They always do.
Imposing their own taxes on American imports. So we're going to tax them, and then they're going to tax us. And that's how
it's a vicious cycle.
And that's how we retaliate against each other. I didn't understand what the fucking big deal was because this thing sort of seems mutually beneficial. And it wasn't until...
mutually negative, technically, because we're going to get fucked, the
well,
consumers.
What I'm saying is it's mutually beneficial to not tax any of those things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it's, if you just think of tariffs as taxes and it's economic warfare, it's force. So it's wrong.
And it wasn't until I saw some of these numbers down here. Where is it? So this is where I realized why it's fucking hurting us when they retaliate, because they're importing, or rather exporting $500 billion to us. So we're buying $500 billion worth of their goods, while they're only buying $130 billion of ours.
Right.
So we're kind of getting fucked here, and that's why Trump is trying to fucking tax.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, I even read in another article, he's like, I'm ready to go all 500. Like, he's ready to fucking tax every little bit.
He's such a fucking tool. Yep.
I just couldn't fucking believe that.
Yeah.
And it took that one little quote there for me to like actually understand it, because I was like, why would we just be taxing each other back and forth? Like, why would...
I mean, if any of our viewers is like actual capitalist or is interested in that, look up laissez-faire capitalism and the free market and go with that. And then once you start learning a little bit about that, and then you read this story, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Or any of the politics that we're dealing with in society today.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it has to do with everything we talk about.
Hashtag look it up.
It's fucking taxation is theft, and we're just passing taxes back and forth, and it's fucking hurting everybody. This is bullshit. I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to say we tax the Chinese goods, so Chinese shit is not so cheap, so that way we are forced to make it here in America, and Americans will buy American product. But
emphasizing the word force. It's good.
Yeah,
it's a good choice of words.
And then we fucking have said in multiple, like, there's been other articles too that where the U.S. manufacturing companies will actually admit to not being able to live up to the capacity needs that the Chinese are providing us. So this whole thing, it's fucked. It's all fucked. You got to go and read some fucking articles, because there's a lot.
Well,
to it.
And it's just every time government fucks around with anything, with the market, I should call it. Whenever they fuck around with it, it's always affecting something, and then the negative things that pop up from it, instead of waiting and letting the market correct itself in the long run with competition and whatever transactions, then what ends up happening is they jump in and throw another law, and then it band-aids it for a minute, and then another problem arises, and then they do the same thing. So they're just piling laws on top of it, and they do that with everything. So it's just a big clusterfuck, and the next thing you know, you got so many laws and your hands tied behind your back you can't do anything.
Yeah, because that's the way we solve problems.
It's not voluntary. It's not about the individual. It's not about the free market.
More laws.
Yeah.
That's
control.
That's how we do here.
That's how you fix it.
Yeah.
That's how you fix it.
Yeah, freedom, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I sort of made the format. Nobody told me anything otherwise. So
I have no idea what's coming up.
Fucking run. Let's run it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I should just hide this. Put it over on this monitor. He's like, all right, now it's this.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Fire.
We'll do it live.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and skip over. Are we going to watch that video? Did you watch that video?
It's a long one, so we can just kind of like go through it just like we just did with the other two.
Okay.
Just kind of
read
it through.
I have not read this article, so
Neither have I.
Yeah, so I think it was Thursday through Saturday last week. They went through the law enforcement in California, and they arrested 300, and there's a bigger number down below it. It says 300 on there, but it's like 330 something, I think 38 or something like that. 339. Yeah, there you go. I was close. And anyways, they were either sex traffickers or human traffickers or something to do with it, like coyoting the people or running a website or something that involved it. So they rounded up all those bad guys, and so that's basically the status story of it. Now, I would like to say is that we wouldn't have half these fucking problems if we didn't have these border issues that we have. If we didn't have all the laws in the books that we had. I think it was definitely geared more towards like the sex trafficking though, because I think the top said what, human trafficking.
Yeah,
but
so yeah,
they do this
the,
every year, like right before the Super Bowl.
That's exactly what they said, and they said that the Super Bowl always brings out a bunch of that, which is weird. I mean,
what the fuck? Why?
Yeah,
because okay, so you have a bunch of people going to a destination, right, to party, drink, or whatever. So then, basically, if I'm a exploiter of like the sex trade or whatever, then that's like one like all-star weekends.
They're providing that,
right?
yeah.
So you have all-star weekends. Like we just had the all-star weekend here for the NHL, and that was one of the reasons why they were doing the crackdown, because of the all-star weekend for the NHL that was here.
Yeah. So basically, not only do me and Jamie hate sports, but this is another reason to add to your list.
Yes.
If you like the Super Bowl, you advocate human trafficking.
Boom!
I just alienated like 90% of our audience.
They're all okay, and we're not watching it.
That's how you get famous, right?
Sure.
That's how you get famous, isn't it?
Sure. Oh man, eat a dick. Keep watching.
Please buy our stuff.
Right, yeah.
Please like us.
I don't think it's working anyways.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck it. All right. So anyways, yeah, I think it's cool that they rounded up all these people, and there's tons of ways that we could get into it and argue about with the laws on the books and the laws of this land that we have, is that like all the regulations that we have and stuff are forcing this market to actually even exist. So, I mean, some of it would definitely be, I think, technology and the lack of our morals and whatnot. I'm sure that is a huge thing. But if prostitution was legalized, I think, I'm just going to go guess, that we probably wouldn't have as much of that stuff going on. And at the same time, we probably wouldn't have as much of the stuff going on without the whole, when we've talked about the wall and the border situation, how we're interfering with other countries stuff. So, I mean, pretty much all these people are from like China, right? And Mexico and maybe like Russia or something like that. So, I mean, these are all the ones that we have these major like problems with, right? In one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I was listening to another show that I listened to that's a podcast, and they were talking about that last week, about like how they promise like say like these Chinese workers will come over here when they're young, and we're gonna give you your freedom, and then they end up becoming like indentured servants.
You have to work for us for a year or something like that, and then they find out, oh fuck, no, that's not what I was doing.
So they basically take their passports, cut them up.
Yeah, it's evil, man. They're doing basically the most evil stuff to people. I'm just saying that like all the laws that are on the books and our foreign policies all enable all this stuff to happen.
Well, the thing that what happens is it mainly criminalizes the victims of these crimes too, where they don't, they're victims of the crime, but then they end up becoming criminals because, they hadn't.
They were by circumstance. Yeah, they're forced into it, and usually what ends up happening is they get them addicted to a hardcore drug. A real hardcore drug. So, like a heroin or something. Yeah. Right? So it's sad and it's bad, but it's also good that for once in a while the law enforcement actually does something good.
Right.
So.
Kudos to them.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Fuck you to the 339
Yeah, instead of worrying about like fucking people's tinted windows and bullshit like that, why don't you worry about this shit? Yeah, or your exhaust in California. Get the fuck out of here. Worry about these kind of things.
So I'm going full cams, long tube headers, and straight pipes.
Yeah.
Arrested.
Yeah. Our buddy Richard's pissed.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Did you see how he had to cut off his fucking pipes, dude?
Yeah. Shout out to Richard.
What up, Richard?
Sorry about the pipes, dude.
Yeah.
Rip the pipes.
We don't really care about Bo, though, so.
I'll see you Friday.
What up, Bo? Shout out to Bo real quick.
No shout out to Bo.
Kenny redacted that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Crybaby ass.
Oh, nope.
You know why, Bo.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Cool. So our first freedom topic tonight is going to be about situational awareness. We're going to go over a little bit. Well, first of all, we're going to show you some bullshit that can happen when you're not aware of your fucking surroundings. And then we're going to show you sort of how to prevent that from happening to you.
Yes.
You want to give a little backstory on this?
No, I think they need to watch this video, actually.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You don't want any backstory on the video?
No, I think that if they see it, I think it's going to...
It's I haven't seen it yet, but I'm told it's a little rough, so...
All right, so what's the first thing here? Some person, we won't even say it's a chick, but it's some person is literally walking in a fucking convenient type store with a goddamn axe. So that should raise up something right there. Like, that's not normal. So why would anyone not be triggered about this?
Boy, she gets like way
You could
too
see
close.
that this guy
First
is
of all,
a little...
You're in your personal face.
Yeah.
Like, You're in my
So you could
space.
see he looked
Yeah.
down at it. He is kind of saying it, but he's playing it off.
He played it too cool.
Yep.
Oh, and that right there, you contacted me. That would give me the right to get you out of my personal space.
Boom.
Oh, God damn it.
Boom. You got two good ones, man.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
He just walks away all nonchalant.
Right. All right. So the reason, go ahead and you can stop it now.
Yeah.
Because they're not really going to show. We don't need to show this crap.
Ooh. Yeah, we don't want to see that. He is a.
Yeah, you
He's
get the
not in
point.
good-
He's bleeding all over
Yeah.
the freaking place.
He's not in good condition,
Yeah,
folks.
because the first time when you see him get hit, it's not coming out of him yet. You don't really see the blood or anything.
I
Now
don't
you,
wanna,
yeah,
we probably don't even need to
yeah,
show
we
it,
don't need to show it. If you guys want to look it up, you can do it. You can rewind and see what the story was or whatever, and look it up for yourself.
Yes.
So, situational awareness is what we want to get into first, and I think what we can do is first maybe start with Cooper right now,
Right.
and then that way we can come back into the story and relate it.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so there is a color chart for situational awareness by Colonel John Dean Jeff Cooper.
Jeff Cooper is what he goes by, and
right.
he's written some books.
So he's written books. He passed away in 2006. He fought in World War II and in the Korean War, and then retired as a lieutenant colonel, and then taught college or high school and college classes. But then he also founded API, which is American Pistol Institution, which is now called Gunsight. It's one of the top training
Front sight or gun sight?
Gunsight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the top training courses or classes that you can take for firearms in the nation.
All right.
So
That's a little background on him.
right.
And so he came up with this awareness color code chart.
So it's white,
Yeah.
yellow, orange, and red. White being that you're in a state of like relaxation, like you aren't really on it.
Your guard is down.
Yeah, you're like just chill. or
You're
whatever.
relaxed and your guard is
Relaxed,
down is their
your guard
first
is
level.
down. Yellow is kind of relaxed, but you like kind of aware of who and what's around you. And
Orange.
orange is more heightened, where you have identified like what it is of like interest, like a person, a thing, or what's going on in your environment, that it's on your radar.
Yeah, well, it's more of like basically what you said, except for it's like I see that person, and that person might be a threat.
Right.
Yeah. Identifying a threat.
Right. And
And then red.
Red is like when shit's going down and
Yeah.
You're ready to
you're
act.
ready to act.
Red,
Okay.
Red is that person is a threat, and now I have to do something about it.
So we here at Grim 86 Freedom First Podcast do not agree with white. No disrespect to this guy whatsoever, but if white is supposed to be when you're in your home, you let your guard down or anything, I think all the viewers from this podcast have seen the home invasion videos.
Right.
I'm sure the viewers of the show, majority of you guys look out your window, and you know the meme where you're looking out your window with the gun and all that when someone
Oh,
pulls
yeah.
in your driveway
Oh,
to
yeah.
turn around. So I can tell you that your guard is not down. You're listening for sounds and smells if you smell smoke next door. So this could be about fire or anything else as well. So what we did here, if you want to, pull it up or blow it up just a little bit, we basically we eliminated that. So think about it this way, and keep this on the screen so they can see this when I'm talking about it. So think of your awareness as a radar, right? Like your stereotypical World War II looking pinging,
Doppler.
yeah, doo,
Doppler radar.
doo. So you have that radar arm going around your dial, right? And when you're relaxed, you're aware of everything. You're seeing everything 360 degrees around you, and you're noticing. When you see there's a possible threat to wherever it is, you get a little ping. So that means you're going into the orange. So now you're aware of a potential threat. So you went from yellow to relaxed, and you're aware and scanning, to now you're on orange, and you're registering, you're hitting those pings. So there's two different people that you're pinging on. And then if they start to act aggressively or posturing to get into your personal space, such as that lady in the video, then you would be going into red, which means you would be backing off and ready to fucking go, or escaping and getting out, right?
Yeah.
So
Putting distance between you and that.
absolutely.
That
So in the orange level, that guy on the video he screwed up on this whole thing.
Right.
So from the beginning, he should have realized the threat and backed away, and he wouldn't have had a problem. Now, if she came running at her, then the yellow and the orange would have immediately jumped into red, and he would be able to react. And questionably, he would have done better than just getting a straight blow to the face by a fucking axe with his arms down. You know, at least he could have blocked
he didn't
it.
put his hands up or
he couldn't.
anything.
Yeah,
Right.
Holy shit.
he was caught off guard completely. So,
fucked.
freedom fighters, when you're walking around in the space, watch your six, watch all around you. You do need to be paranoid. You need to look at every single potential threat. Any of you guys, especially when you're alone, if you're with a buddy or you're with your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, have them watch another direction. If you're in a crowded area, if you're in a park, you know, have awareness. Be in the yellow. You know what I mean? But as soon as someone starts coming into your personal space where you can get within that like 50 yards, 20 yards of you, you need to pay attention. It's your responsibility to take care of yourself. You, as an individual, you have to take care of that yourself first, and you also have to take care of your loved ones. So it's pretty much common sense.
Yeah.
And if you use that simple tool that we have on there, we'll post it on our the meme on our what's it called, our Facebook. And that way, if you wanted to copy it and save it just to remind yourself, you can do that. So it's just always stay aware of what's going on. Do you have any kind of stories where this actually kind of thing is played out? I know with our security guys, we all kind of think this way already that we worked with, and then we kind of talked about this about maybe a year ago, and we kind of just to kind of confirm it, to give you kind of a visual tool as a radar when you're standing around and there's a bunch of people around you that, okay, I'm pinging on this guy, or this group or whatever, and I'm watching them now. I'm still alert with everything else, but I'm watching those guys a lot because I'm not trusting what's going on, body language, whatever.
Just personally, I'm always on orange. Just
well, you're always on.
That guy's a threat.
I mean, if you think about it, yellow is just being aware. So think about it that way. Yellow, you're always aware. So technically, you're always yellow. As soon as you come into contact with people, you're always on orange. That's what you're saying.
no.
Well, you can't be on. I mean, you can't be on orange.
His rage fuels him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the door is a threat, and like when there's no one around.
Like even when I'm at home by myself.
Wait. Now I'll back up what you're saying. So now you could say. Not directly the door is a threat, but you could say that the doorway is a threat that you're always aware of because someone could come through it.
He just pops two through the door and then opens it. Every room in his house. They look like fucking Swiss cheese now.
Fucking Girl Scouts just fucking dumping rounds through the door.
But no, seriously, because I've had individuals come to my home.
Yeah, but that fits into what he's saying. I mean, what we're saying, not what he's saying.
But even just...
It's a good argument for not being what Cooper's saying with the white.
Oh, I'm never on the white.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
Never. Even when I'm taking a shit, I'm never on the white.
Or sleep even.
Yeah.
Wake up real quick and shit.
Now, that's something, for me, I find that I'm really good yellow when I'm walking around, but I pretty easily go white when I'm...
at home or whatever.
At home is one thing. I used to so what bothers me is when somebody sneaks up on me, and they're complete strangers that do it, and they're not even acknowledging that I'm there. Like they might not even see me. What happens is I'll be sitting. This is when
they're sneaking up on you unintentionally, type thing.
Yeah. So imagine this. I'm on my break at work. I'm out in the parking lot. I'm smoking in my car. I have my door, open. I got one foot out, and I'm sitting in there, and I was using my vape, right? Well, someone would get into the car next to me, and it would turn on, and I'd be like, son, I didn't even fucking see the guy walk up to that car. I was so involved in what I was doing on my phone.
Okay, so that would just tell you right now that your situation is poor, right? So
yeah,
it would say that it's happened a few times. You should have learned from the first one.
I know. I need to work on it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And another one that would happen, too, is I'll be looking out my windshield, and I'll see someone walk behind my car because I'm in the parking space in the mirror.
That is harder, though, because if you are in your car, there's blind spots and stuff. So that one's a little bit more understandable.
But still,
what I would do is if the weather's nice, I would lean against your trunk and face out, or your hood and face out, so you could see wherever you have the most of it.
Yeah.
It's better to always have, like, if you're going to relax, you're going to be somewhere, sit down somewhere, and you'll back that up, is with your back to the wall and facing the doors and knowing where your exits are. That's always your smartest for relaxing. Because then it doesn't sound relaxing by, like, thinking about that stuff, but it's smart, and then you can actually relax better because whenever anyone walks in the door, you know who the fuck's coming in, and you can get out the other doors and whatnot because you know where they are.
I do always try to sit with with my back near a wall, or at least not to a window or something. And I always do try and at least be able to see the doors, right?
Yeah. Well, just apply that to your brakes.
That's also sort of like, I sit in the fucking brake room now. I don't smoke
there you
anymore,
go.
but
yeah, good.
But the
so it's healthier
mafia,
and smarter.
Yeah, right. Mafia guys, like that was like the biggest mistake you could do if you were a fucking mob guy. The worst thing you could do is sit and not be able to see the fucking doors because you could walk in and they could just spray the place up and you're fucked. So that's one of the things that's always in the back of my head too. It's like that's fucking cool to me. Watch the doors. Another
cool thing is a little tip on that exact thing. So just reminded me here. So if you're sitting at like a table and they have, so this is chrome, it's black and white, but you guys can't see it. But if they have like a paper, what's it called? A napkin dispenser, you can use that as a reflection. So if you are not able to sit in the right spot, you can actually look through it as a reflection back. Also, if you're with someone, so like if I'm sitting down with Kenny and he's across from me, I already know he's got my back. I don't even have to ask him to do that just because of our background together.
I got your back.
So, like, I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? And sometimes we'll notion to each other like that, and then we'll look. So we do that stuff. And it's like if you just train just a little bit, it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna pay off a lot.
One thing I do, just in my everyday, like just walking down the street, because every now and then, same at my parents' place, okay, and there's liquor store is right across the street. Oftentimes I'll have to go down there, go get some beer, whatever, come back to my dad's place, and we're
it's a sketchy little area right there too.
It's not the greatest,
not the best.
But people will like walking there with Valerie or something like that.
All the dudes are always catcalling Jamie. It's so cute.
Yeah, she's asked me before, why do you always like acknowledge her? Why do you always say hi to people like as you're walking up? And it is a way
to let them know that they're there.
With eye contact.
So work retail, first of all, that's like just kind of ingrained in your head. You want to contact people. You want to acknowge people. And because you're like this as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had this conversation.
Oh yeah, we all are on the same page with this.
It's basically as soon as you acknowledge somebody, you've made them know that you are aware of them, and they are less likely to try to fuck with you if that was their intention even to begin with.
And going along exactly with what he's saying. Now there's a definition, or there's a difference here. Walk straight, walk upright, walk proud, but do not do it like where you're flexing on someone, because that's just going to make you look like you're intimidating in the bad way. We want to look intimidating in a smart way. If you're walking in a proper way, right, and you walk up, what's up, man? They're going to like automatically, that breaks some, like if they're plotting or they have this idea of you, they don't like you for whatever reason, a majority of the time, that's going to already just fuck with their whole brain, and they're just going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, what's up, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to go from like that to like, now this guy's really paying attention and watching me. He's walking upright. He looks like he's smart. And if backing up from that, if you even had the opportunity and it looked like a sketchy area, if it's at night and it's dark, cross the street to the area where it's brighter and lit. If there's a sketchy person walking towards you, cross the street and get away.
Yeah, get the fuck
and if
away.
Worst case scenario, turn around and just get the fuck out of there. It's not worth your little fucking Cheetos and your Coke that you're going to go get.
Yeah.
So just be smart about it.
What I do, which I did before I came here, was I pulled up to the store. I'll sit in my car.
Walking around with my Tech 9.
I'll sit in my car for a minute and scope out the store to make sure to see, okay, who's around.
Yeah, you've touched on this in the show, and use your gas station analogy, what you said.
So basically, like when you pull up to like a gas station, before you just get out of your car and go in, pay at the pump or whatever, I always make myself aware of who is around me, what's going on. Because,
and you sometimes drive around it even sometimes.
If it's really late at night and like I know I have to pay at the pump, I'll make a couple trips around the gas station to make sure that there's like nobody.
Recon it.
Yeah. Either hiding somewhere where it's dark or whatever, and then I'll sit in my car, I'll turn my car off, and I'll look around before I get out. And then when I do get out, even though I'm
then
right
you're going
by my
on
car,
to fucking yellow right away. You're just boom.
And
well, you're always on yellow, but
right.
what I'm saying is,
and I lock my car too.
Yeah.
Just
that's a good tip.
I want to be sure. Okay.
Yeah. Make sure your keys are in your pocket.
Right.
You're all trying to get away. Fuck.
But yeah, just to touch on that, just always be aware. Even though don't get too engrossed in what you're doing, like Jamie said, to where he didn't know what was going on around him, because things happen. So say like if you're, even though you're
he's talking about when he was on his smoking
right,
breaks.
Even if you're sitting in your car, you have your leg hanging out of your car, I'm going to tell you, don't do that. even though you don't smoke.
See, if
anymore,
I wanted to jack his car, I would have walked up, I would have smashed the door into his fucking leg, grabbed him, and throw him out, and jump in the car.
Right, exactly.
That's what I would have done.
Or not only that, just say
Just what I would have done.
somebody in the parking lot crashes into your car.
Ooh,
Now
your
your leg
bye-bye.
is pinned. You know what I mean?
I've actually, ladies and gentlemen, walked up to him once at his job when he was in the car, exactly in that position.
So
And you were like, "Oh fuck!"
yeah.
I do remember that.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
You get into your phone and fucking. Everyone does.
I
it.
should have just done this on purpose and just start trying to sneak up on him and freak him out. He's like, "God damn it!"
You're gonna fucking catch one, dude. It's gonna
So-
be involuntary.
To touch on this really
It's
quick.
debatable.
So on Monday there was a gentleman that was hit by 5 cars. There was a down tree. He went to go around the tree because it was blocking the sidewalk. He had to then walk kind of into traffic. The first person hit him, and he went down, and then 4 of the cars hit him, but they stopped. The original person that hit him did not stop. He ended up dying as a result of the injuries he received.
So he got just smush, just fucking 5 cars ran him
5
over.
cars ran him over.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Ooh.
So always be aware of your surroundings. If there's something that's in your way, make sure you're looking to make sure that it's safe for you to do whatever it is that you're doing. Like Johnny said, if there's a situation where you don't feel comfortable, get yourself out of that situation as quickly as possible and safely as possible.
And you guys, some of you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with Jocko from the Jocko podcast, the ex-SEAL commander, Navy SEAL commander.
And if you're not, you need to be.
Yeah, you should check out his podcast. It's great. But he will even say he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. He's a badass motherfucker. He will say the first thing to do is go away. Do not be the fucking... like, I have to confront this guy because of my machismo and all this shit, and I know I could beat him. Because we don't know at the end of the day if this guy knows how to fight. We don't know if he's got a gun. We don't know if he has a knife. He could have a chain whip. Who knows what the fuck he's got? We don't know. Yeah, let's just make up a fucking another weapon that you never see on the street. You know, he's a wushu champion with the chain whip. We don't know that.
He's got a shuriken up his sleeve.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have, but I've met some guys that you would never know are like some badass motherfuckers, like martial artists or whatever, little dudes. And I've met some guys that you would never think are anything. And that's not to say that every martial art's legit and all that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I've met some dudes that I know for a fact are badass motherfuckers that are ex-Army Rangers or military or martial artists. And you would never guess in a million years just by looking at them.
Do they use the
using the stereotype kind of thing?
They use the tri-staff?
The trisectional.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Yeah.
They use like a pole arm of some sort.
I'll give you a pole arm.
Like a pike.
So there's another guy that
What'd
I
you call
follow
me?
too. That's
No, I said pike. It was sorry.
That's a top martial art guy. You can look him up on YouTube, and it's like, you know, the best like confrontational things. And he's like a big ass dude. And the first thing he does in like every video that he does for his training is like when there's a situation, he just fucking runs.
Yeah. How to be like, how to stay out of trouble. That's the first option.
How to survive a knife fight. How to survive a sword fight, and they just fucking
run.
Late.
He's like, oh, you just run the other way.
Right. Yeah, the only difference is if you can't get away, like your back's to the wall or there's no escape behind you. You know what I mean? Then you have to try to juke around him or fucking face him, right? So those are the only times. But, I mean, it's ultimately trying to keep yourself out of that situation in the beginning. Right. And we talked about this before on the podcast, too. Also applies to your home, so you need to always know what's going on around you. If you smell smoke, check out the windows and look. It could be your neighbor's house on fire or your backyard or something. Right. So, or your garage, right? So always be alert with your senses, right? You could hear something that sounds weird. It could be someone pulling up really quick and they're going to bum rush your house. So be prepared for that. Start planning out. We did. I don't wish I remember what episode that was. We did. More.
I can't remember.
It was more about the houses. It was the house security. We did touch on
walking around. Yeah. Like I said, I make sure before I just walk into the house that I.
Right, no one's following you and stuff like that. So
I'm just paranoid.
And the same thing, it goes into what he was saying with your car.
Just be
even when you're pulling up
always.
to a light, make sure you have an out if you can. If sometimes you're turning and you can't, or you get stuck, whatever it is.
Or the place says you can't back in, which is bullshit, but whatever.
So always look for an out. And then, is there anything else you guys want to say about this? I mean, I think we got most of that out there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what episode was that.
It was one
like
of the earlier ones.
Episode.
It was like 6 or something like that, I want to say.
Just go back and rewatch everything.
Everyone, I agree.
And like and subscribe.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
And just remember 3 days a year.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
I was like, what is
Or
it?
no,
Oh,
3
yeah.
days a lifetime. That's even worse than that.
Yeah.
That's science.
Yeah.
They're statistics.
It's all good.
Numbers.
All right.
Numbers are weird.
All right, so this kind of goes along with it. Jamie was on the same page I was. I was going to tell him at the end. So this next coming year, they're going to be releasing the bulletproof backpack onto the market. An Israeli company developed this, and it's made out of Kevlar, and it's light. And I believe they have different sizes for the different size kids.
Right, they do.
And they have different models. So some of them... I think they
so there's different
what is it
levels.
called? Clamshell open,
Right.
like so you can use it as a
So
shield.
there's some that are like you said that you zip open and it flips to protect all your
The knees
vitals,
and
your
shit,
knees
yeah.
and everything like that.
My nuts.
This was basically the idea came after all the like massive shootings at schools and everything.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, Israel. They're
Right.
always dealing with this
Right.
shit.
So
Way worse than we are.
What a fucking time to be alive, boys.
Yep, I think it's pretty cool, man.
Jesus Christ.
where like my main thought when I was going to school was like I wanted a jam sport because they were cool back then.
Oh, sure, that was
Now
our
it's
main
like,
concern.
Now I'm all
Now
I
it's
need
like,
to send my
yeah.
kid to school with a tactical.
Oh, here we
fucking
go at the
backpack.
bottom of that. Yeah,
that
yeah.
one right there.
So the boy on the far right, or I don't know what.
far.
is
So
that
it
left?
would be your left
Yeah.
or right.
Closest to the box where our screen
Right.
is.
Here we go.
Yeah,
right there.
he's got it opened up, like clamshelled open, so you can use it as a full shield. The other ones are showing how you can use it as a handheld shield, or you can reverse it. My thinking is, why didn't they just have one of those pictures where it's actually on your back out of the two with the girl?
That way when you're
Because
running.
you're supposed to be running away from the threat, right? So you're going to get most likely shot in the back. So I was like,
Right.
little poor marketing there.
Oh,
but-
here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's a little.
There you go. Yeah, that's
little
good.
Little
diagram.
diagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, look, they do have one that does front and back. It makes a vest.
Oh, neato.
Double panel.
There you go.
So yeah.
So
it
they
looks
do
like-
have that option.
So this one you can do front and back.
Maybe that's why the red one and they can't see it at home,
Oh,
but the
yeah.
two girl ones, maybe
Yeah.
one has the back piece too.
Yeah, maybe this one is the back.
It's just the
piece.
pictures are so small you can't tell.
And they start out at about $300.
No, they were actually cheaper, I think.
Maybe-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
fuck,
right here.
dude.
Look, there's the prices.
So they're $210 to $250.
yeah. So
So they lowered it because when they about a year ago they were about
That's for the
$300.
double panel.
Well, yeah.
Look at the
Yeah.
single panel
Look
is
at that.
fucking under $200.
yeah,
Wow.
not too shabby,
I'm gonna
bro.
fucking buy one
Yeah.
of these motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, as you guys know, in the stuff that we're all into with the guns and all that, they've already had that stuff for
Right.
that. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
slide a plate in there, or you can
Yeah.
buy Kevlar to put in there. So it's
but dude, you
But
I can't
these are
fucking-
cool because they're embedded, so you don't have to worry about it flopping around. And
I'm just saying, I
probably
cannot
lighter.
buy a fucking plate carrier for $250.
so Jamie's gonna be running around with the backpack, mags in the front,
Don't worry
like
about
a
it.
total goober.
I'm just saying, I want a fucking bulletproof backpack.
Okay, but now let me go to the negative of this whole situation. These are only rated for pistol, ladies and gentlemen, and most of these shootings are happening with
The
rifles.
right.
What are they, level 2? then?
So yeah, they're
Yeah.
pistol rated. So it's still good. It's still smart, especially for that price.
Still something.
But and here's the other thing: they might even have it where you can put a plate in there. So,
They do.
I don't know. They do way less now. I know there's new plates, right? I'm
Right.
pretty sure.
So I
that
have
way,
the,
I have the older
A
shit.
ceramic
so-
plate.
I have the new ceramic plate.
You have those?
Yeah, remember I showed you that.
Oh, no, I don't remember. I want to see them again then.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
He
next
was,
time.
he was drinking. It was
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
episode
it was.
10.
Oh, it was after 10? Yeah,
Ten was-
fuck,
yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
shit after that, dude.
Episode 10 was bad.
So I do have the new ceramic plates. If you can get them at a gun show, I recommend it. If you're in California, it's gonna be a lot harder because they ban a lot of gun shows. so,
Everything.
You can go online and look up different companies. Do you know what company it was by any
So
chance?
it's Armor 500 is where I
AR
got it
500?
from.
AR500? Yeah,
Um,
hell yeah.
But we looked
That's where I
them
got
up,
my shit, but I have the heavy ones, the old school ones.
and online they were like 600 and something bucks,
Jesus.
and that's just for the plates. Yeah.
I got my AR500 plate right over there.
So,
Yeah, and
anyways,
those
this
were
is
level
this is
4.
good for
Level 4, okay.
Yeah.
half the stuff. Okay, let's go the opposite. So the majority of gun violence is due to pistols.
Right.
Okay, so we'll balance this out. A lot of the mass shootings, which happens how often? And this is still going to help. I mean,
Well,
it's not
yeah.
like it's not like I'd rather have that on than nothing, right?
Just homeschool
Yeah.
your kids.
yeah.
Get on
So you
welfare
just
and
got to
homeschool your
remember
kids.
it is pistol rated, so it's only going to go up, I believe, to 44 caliber pistol.
Well,
but it's not going to stop 223, 556, 762 or anything like rifle round.
The 44 Magnum is that's a level 3A.
Is that one where?
So
45 is where it cuts off on that one too.
I'm only assuming because the 44 Magnum, the level 3A, that will stop a 762.
Because see, I've seen the police. So like the police wear their under their uniform thing.
Yeah.
Those will stop all pistol rounds, but they won't stop any rifle rounds. So I was assuming that it's the same.
I'll look it up. You guys keep going.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
So anyways, I think this is super neato, and it gets my stamp of approval.
Right.
And if I had kids, I'd buy these for them. I'd buy the double one, so they could learn how to fucking.
I have too many kids. So
well,
you niggas got this shit.
yeah, I don't have kids, so I'm good. But what I'm saying is, if I had kids,
you get
I
it
would
Monday
do
and Tuesday. You take it Wednesday, Thursday, and on Friday I'll take it.
You
to work.
may die on this day and this day, so be really on alert. Use the Grim 86 color panel to be super aware. Just be on fucking red.
Always when you're at school, you're on red. It's sad that we have to say this, but fucking.
Oh shit! Whenever you're in a crowd, it has nothing to do with just school because this shit happens in malls. This happens in airports. This happens everywhere.
So the level 4 can stop what?
So I was wrong. The level 3A, right? Level 3A, 44 Magnum is the biggest that it will do.
Yeah.
Right, but the level 4, sorry, is
the rifle, right?
Yeah, .3006.
So yeah, it's pretty much what I was saying.
Well, level 3 actually says it'll do a 308.
Up to 308, yeah.
Yeah, which is your 762 by 51. But the 3A is only 9.
And what did this one say it was exactly? So we just
does it even say anything?
I don't. It said
scroll back up. Yeah,
I thought it said it stopped pistol rounds, all pistol rounds.
Really quick.
Go scroll back down real quick.
I think we need to. I don't know.
So the only there's a video on this.
So it's safe for all. It exceeds the standard for safety for just handguns. So
yeah,
it just covers
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So it's probably level 3A. Then,
yeah,
which is,
yeah. So yeah, it'll stop all of them. So this video is, if you want to play it real quick, it just shows like a little quick demonstration. It's real short. You might need to turn it down though, because it's
it's fucking black.
I just saw that right there. I was like, oh shit.
Good fucking call.
Yeah, because the sound's not going to really matter. It's just a quick test at the range. It's real short. A female is shooting a fucking backpack. So.
With a fucking
40. I don't know.
It's a CZ. It could be a 9.
But anyways, you can see it impacted, and there's one of their backpacks, and the back did not get punctured. So there you go. So
got quick fucking wind knocked out of it.
A little, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I'd rather have that happen than fucking catch one. So
yeah, holy shit.
That's what we say on the streets. Just so you know, Kenny.
Gonna
catch one. You don't want to get got. All right, that's what we say on the streets, bro.
You don't want to get
streets.
Got. And the fact
I'm just saying, bro. You would know if you're from the streets. So just saying, bro. All right.
Yeah.
All righty. Science.
So, speaking of bulletproof backpacks and firearms safety.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to watch some gun fails here. Now, I will admit, some of these gun fails we've already seen. But this particular gun fail I thought was pretty cool because,
had
it's
some
a compilation.
Other
it's got some other stuff on here.
We haven't seen this video.
That out.
Yeah, the round, it just...
Yeah. It was dead. Obviously, it wasn't a split.
It was a dead.
She looked so mad. Scope kiss.
Yeah, at least he's doing something.
This motherfucker.
Yeah. Don't.
Like how?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What do you think was going to fucking happen? Oh, this idiot.
In
the face.
He got what he deserved.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen this shit?
Yeah, I have seen this one. Fuck. It went off and the other one went off.
Face.
Oh,
face.
Dude. Keep your head away from the scope, people.
Right?
He's deaf forever. Back blast clear.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah, this is one we've seen before for sure.
Deserve that completely. Holy shit.
Nice catch.
Ow! Oh my God!
Oh my god.
And then this idiot. We've seen this
Fucking
before.
dumbass.
Fucking Serpa hero.
Yeah. We actually just did that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking shot myself.
That doesn't get old, though.
Look at that
Oh.
shit.
Yeah, wow.
Joey!
It's probably failure. He probably didn't clean it, right?
Well,
Most
that
likely.
or it was
Or
either that
ammunition.
or he
Something.
self reload.
Or it was a squib. Look at that fucking bullshit.
Keep going. All right, there you go.
What is she wearing?
Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
flag.
relax.
Relax,
she's
she
like,
said.
relax,
Fuck
yeah.
off, bitch.
Even the dog's like this idiot.
Yeah.
And pull it up.
Thanks for teaching gun safety, bro.
Slash my
This
guns
guy, too.
around a little
Oh, we've
bit.
seen this one.
I'll go,
Or I have.
"Ooh, dude, my mom's gonna kill me. Oh my God.
Yeah, no shit.
Dude, she got laid the fuck out.
Potato gun.
Oh.
Potato gun, I think.
Yeah. Spud gun. I like that one
Oh,
too. She just
wow.
drops it. Face.
Oh,
Whoa.
Dude, look at that fucking
dude, that
knacker.
one guy that pulled it out, he shot himself.
okay?
It was fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
Jesus.
Nation
fucking hurt.
Got it.
Yeah, we saw that one too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
A lot of these we've seen, like I said, but I mean, there's some fucking good ones on there. The homemade guns
Hold it tight to your
exploding. Those are
shoulder.
my favorite.
Oh, right in the eye. Yeah. I think I
Nah.
Yeah, you could have just.
Oh, this fucking
this
idiot.
is just genius right here. Don't drink and play with guns, people.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. Now, if you are gonna fucking fuck around with guns, you probably should seek legit training. Would you agree?
I do agree.
Definitely would
Yeah.
agree.
So let's check out this guy because this guy clearly has had
It's very important.
high level class niner training.
I think he's a Call of Battlefield
Yes.
SEAL Delta
Yeah, absolutely.
Marine Corps Ranger.
Yeah, Space Force door
Operator.
gunner. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
operator.
Yeah.
That's is
Yeah.
what I think he is.
Yeah.
So
This is the actual uniform for Space Force as well.
oh wait, he's got some good ones here.
Yeah.
When
Look,
he
look
gets-
at that.
Right here. Here's a
oh, that
Oh,
reload! That reload!
yes.
That reload!
That was operator right there. Oh, and then that's definitely how you assess there. You have your gun right here,
Right by your head.
and you walk around assessing.
right.
And then
Oh,
you,
yeah.
And then you put your hand in front of the gun when you move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Because
way
you're
to do
cutting
it.
through the
And-
air to almost like swim.
Right.
It kind of is a swimming motion, and it
It
gets
makes
you away. You see how that works?
yeah. And then the backhand
Yeah.
underhand shot gets you.
Oh yeah,
two
no, that's
people.
only when you're retreating though,
Right.
because it's natural to stand like this and shoot. That's
It's increased accuracy.
yeah.
Right.
It makes sense to me.
It makes
man.
you more
I mean,
aerodynamic.
yeah, I mean, whenever
It's-
I'm walking away,
yeah.
don't you guys like you? Yeah, I walk away like
Always.
that. Yeah,
Naturally, like
makes
like
sense.
like Naruto, like you put your arms.
Yeah.
Or which one is it when they
Yeah,
run with their
when they're
arms?
running?
Yeah, with their
Yeah,
arms
Mario?
backwards. Yeah, Mario
Yeah,
from fucking
sure.
Mario 3.
sure.
Yeah,
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
We're just now just
Yeah.
saying things.
He doesn't have arms.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, Mega Man.
Is that the Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles?
Yeah,
Might be.
sure.
Fuck.
All right. So,
Gun fail.
anyways, that was totally horse shit. So
Yeah.
you guys know.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell,
do
that was
not
horse
do
shit.
any of the things he did in that video.
Sorry.
If you really
Sarcasm.
guys want good training, just seek it out. Like, go look for it. Find good fucking people. Start with definitely gun safety
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
and
don't,
use some common
and
sense.
don't get fucking YouTube certified like this fucking tool bag did. I mean, shit. Go out and get real. Yeah, take real classes.
Hey, Kenny, you want to
We
see a
advise
magic
it.
trick? Woo! Look at that, dude. That was pretty cool, huh?
All right, it's time for a break. We'll be right back. You guys want to hear a
just
story about
annoying.
Uranus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear a story about Uranus?
Yeah. Good.
All right, yes. All right, check this out. So, I have it pulled up over here. You guys just look at Uranus there for
Yeah,
a second.
sure.
Okay. So now,
the
okay,
two should be closer.
we're just
together.
gonna we're just gonna I'm gonna preface this with I'm pretty sure this is
No, this is science. So I'm gonna interrupt and I'm gonna say this is factual information.
No, it's not.
okay.
No,
so,
this is science.
all right. So
Okay, so continue.
so the article reads: up until now, NASA has never paid too much attention to Uranus,
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? They just don't care about us.
but now the space agency wants to take a good, long look.
Yeah.
All right. And
At
one of the things it might be
Uranus?
interested or it might be investigating is all that gas,
Yeah.
all the gas in Uranus.
There's a lot of gas. Yes. I don't see where this is fake so far.
Where it starts to sound real is when they start talking about Uranus and Neptune in the same thing there. I don't know if that's what both of those are. It doesn't tell, but
They look the same.
supposedly
so
they're ice giants.
what else we have here? This whole article is just a big pun on how to say Uranus as many times as you possibly can.
That's a great article.
So they want to do a possible flyby of Uranus. Okay. The preferred mission is an orbiter within the atmosphere and probe either Uranus or Neptune. This provides the highest science value. So what they're going to also need is to do a flyby of Uranus is going to include a narrow angle camera to draw out details, especially of the ice giant's moons. Okay, this is the punniest thing I've ever read on the show.
I'm failing to see the humor here. I don't see. Humor.
You know, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, this is science.
Okay, yeah, it's science.
Yeah.
It's debatable.
Yeah. All right. And then, can you scroll down on that one so they can see the?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
And I believe the other article at the bottom
They just want to measure heavy
is
gas.
pictures from that's Mars. So there's definitely life on Mars. I just wanted to
Yeah,
So we can talk about that another time.
they just want to measure the heavy gases. You know, that's what they want to do. They want to investigate.
Kenny's
why,
all seriously reading it right
why
now.
all the gas is there.
That's like some fantasy fictional.
That's
looking
what it looks
shit.
like, yeah.
Yeah, this whole website looks bogus.
It's the same site that I got Eater from, probably.
Oh, what did you see? The flat Earth?
No, actually, it wasn't. Oh, wait, which one?
There was
Yeah,
a
no,
flat
did-
Earth.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
The
Yeah.
show, right?
No, like
show
on there was an article about flat Earth.
Oh, I missed it. Yeah, I don't know.
You got
That shit
Jamie triggered.
That shit goes in one ear and out the other with me. I fucked. Yeah, it's fucking donut or get fucked. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Well, before we do anything else, let's do shout outs.
I just think it stinks that they don't pay attention to Uranus as much. Yeah.
I'm so mad at you right now.
Yeah. All right.
I fucking hate you.
So,
guys.
anyways, that's a true story. Look it up. So, yeah, it wasn't funny.
No. it's
Shout
not
outs.
fucking true.
Shout out to Valerie, who's actually
What
in the
up?
room. Hi, Val.
What's up,
Shout
Valerie?
out, Val.
We have
We're still going with
Shout out to
V-Dub?
Bo and Richard again.
V-Dub.
Oh, you're back on that?
Oh, yeah, I didn't leave it.
We still have Misty and Todd who watch the show. We have
What up?
Ashley and Chase.
Shout out to Steve.
Steven from the Quick Stop.
Yep. What up, Steve?
Um,
Steven.
Other Steven, too?
Steven, too.
Steven One Eye.
We got a lot of people.
Yeah.
We have a core group here.
Yeah.
You know?
What up,
Yeah.
Jason? Thanks for watching.
You guys need to multiply like gremlins and get these fucking...
Yeah, start spreading
Subscribers are right.
yeah, have people watch this nonsense. I mean, this great show.
It's wonderful.
Which full of science mostly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Me and Jamie
wonderful.
were having this discussion before you got here, and we were saying that our number one topic, not our top two threads, but our number one topic is definitely science.
Yes.
So he agrees. See, he wasn't here, and it kind of is actually, joking aside. I was joking, but joking aside, it kind of a little bit
You're not wrong.
topic-wise.
You're not wrong.
topic-wise,
Yeah.
I'm not saying
There's,
We-
there's a lot of science that goes on here.
Yeah, we bring up a lot of science articles.
there's a lot
and
of
science
hot
stuff.
air
Yeah.
being
Being exchanged.
sure.
Being
Yeah,
exchanged.
being blown into these microphones. Yeah,
Blown into
that's for
Uranus.
sure. Blown into Uranus. Right in there.
I'm still not seeing what's funny about that, but okay. Yeah, that's cool. Let's just joke about science all the time.
That's such
Fine.
an amusing
That's cool.
stance to take on this
Sure.
aspect.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's my scientific objective.
Do you guys have any other fucking shout outs? Are you fucking preoccupied?
Yeah, dude, once science have it proves that that's what the show is about. I'm just saying. Kenny, anything else?
No, man, I'm good.
No shout outs? Shout out to your cousin Dan.
Ah, yeah, what's
Yeah,
up,
let's
Dan?
do that. Yeah. What up?
What up?
First though,
And shout out to Chris. He's not here tonight, so
yeah,
give
what
him
the
a little
fuck?
shout
yeah,
out.
to
Yeah,
Chris.
he's got
Holy
a
shit.
little busy schedule thing going on. So
Got to make that money.
yeah,
man.
so there's that.
Right. Got to
So,
pay them bail
yeah.
bondsmen back.
Yeah, it's more important than freedom.
So we're not watching her, right? Because this is infuriating.
Negative.
No, I can't do
Yeah,
this.
we
I
can't.
can't do this. He'll
Okay.
be good.
Okay.
I want to punch him in
Bring
his
him
face.
back to the beginning of his little fucking nonsense too.
Is it not?
It just needs to back up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh god, this is.
All right, you guys
torture.
ready?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, fucking here we go. Good luck, folks. We'll see you on the other side.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm listening.
How hard is the English language?
Oh, super.
To you
Not-
and to me, it's probably not that hard because we can already speak it. But to many others around the world, the English language is actually pretty difficult. So
It is it is
these
hard to
people
learn,
don't
apparently.
learn English.
Yeah.
We
It's like one of the
don't
hardest
Okay,
learn
pause it
the
real fast,
language,
Jamie.
and
Just do me a favor there. It's really hard to fucking learn because you're learning another language, just like it's hard for me to learn Japanese or whatever, right? Like
no, they say
the English language is one of the hardest languages to learn.
Japanese
because,
is harder.
Mm,
Yeah. Trust me, I know this.
Just because there are so many words that are spelled the same but have different meanings.
Right.
And then you have silent letters.
But my point is, to anyone, it's harder to learn another language than the one that you're
It's-
born into because you learn it as you're growing up.
well, no,
right?
but there are like different degrees of like the hardness and difficulty with certain languages. Certain languages are easier.
Well, yeah,
to
like
learn
for
than-
instance, German and Japanese are way harder than the fucking I don't know Spanish.
Right.
Just
Right,
making
right,
things
right,
up.
right,
I'm just making
Right,
things
but
up. That's
see,
all I'm saying.
so we would have an easier time learning Spanish than any of those two languages
Language.
because Spanish is Latin-based language. So
Right.
it has Latin. There's so few languages in the world that use Latin versus all the other languages that don't, that it makes the learning curve for an English language the hardest. It is widely renowned as one of the hardest languages to
Right.
learn. For me, it would be one of so like Italian, Spanish, those ones would be easier for me to learn than Japanese or Mandarin or Cantonese, something where that was completely different, right?
I thought that Spanish and or Mexico and what do you call it? Italy share the same flag.
God damn you. All right.
I just thought it was the same flag.
Yeah,
This one has a tattoo.
little tramp stamp there for you.
Or in the, yeah, I was thinking on the arm, but yeah, sure. I'm just saying, bro. No?
Let's get through this.
No? Okay.
Let's get through this.
Please.
Fuck.
Eventually, no one can communicate with anyone. This is a real problem
such thing as
around the
Google.
world because there's just too many languages in the world. But over the past week, I learned
guy's
about
smart.
a new language that is designed to fix this problem. The language is called Pidgin. Someone hundreds of years ago realized that this language stuffed them, and so they decided to make up an entirely new language that is very similar to English, but much simpler. It has no hard grammar, no long words, and no crazy sentences. It's everybody's dream language. Instead
Yeah,
of
for an
coffee,
idiot.
you say coffee. Library, book house. University, big school. Eat, kai kai. Dinner, night kai kai. Jungle,
Night
big
kai
bush.
kai for dinner.
There is no I am, she is, you are, he is, none of that stuff. There is only
Me, you, all.
instead of 26 English letters, there is only
Sounds like New World Order
These
shit to
letters
me.
are out and complicated
C is gone,
sentences
too.
are
CQ.
out. Please do not
X and
disturb
Z.
English. Is simplified to
Cunt
you
is
know
spelled with
come
a K.
inside.
You know come in
to
sight.
You know can come in sight.
Oh my god.
No smoking allowed is simplified to you can't smoke to
No can smoke.
you look nice. Exactly. You get the idea. This language is so good that it might actually save a life.
This
Take
guy is a
Papua New Guinea, for
fucking
example.
moron.
They have 800 tribes and 800 languages. It's almost impossible to communicate with all tribes if you don't learn 800 languages. Until the Pidgin language came. Now, tribes can talk to each other in Pidgin and fight each other less because they can finally understand each other. This is how a form of Pidgin finally became an official language in the country of Papua New Guinea, in West African countries, and in many places around the world. I love this language because you don't need crazy grammar, crazy long words, and crazy sentence structures just to talk to humans. All we really need is a way to understand each other, and this language
That's
has
all we
finally
need. We just
made
need
it
a way to understand
possible.
each other. That's all it is. That's the only. That's the answer to all problems. Is basically what this idiot's saying. It basically shits on philosophy and shits on science. This is fucking. This is in fucking insane. Like even the social justice warriors, I can kind of grasp their concept slightly. I don't agree with them in any way, shape, or form, but I can understand that they're letting their emotions dictate their. You know what I mean?
You know why? You
But
know why you
this
can
is
understand
just
that, Johnny?
insanity.
You know why you can understand it?
Why?
Because they're using
English.
They're using
real language.
They're using hard grammar and complicated sentences to display complex ideas
Yeah.
to you to fucking.
To convey the details that need to be conveyed, where this is taking out all that shit. It's just fucking infuriating to me. Just for me. And I am a dumb person.
No comment.
So.
I don't like it at all.
This is insane.
So how would you say no comment then if there's no C or...
That's our point.
No, you'd use a K instead. And it'd be like NOH and then
We shouldn't even be having this conversation.
HOMEHNT.
No comment?
No comment.
No. I don't even want to fucking do it. Whatever.
You just have to act. You just have to act like you're from Wakanda.
This is literally,
and then that's what it sounds like.
This is like,
It's like
fucking straight up like idiocracy.
It
straight
sounds.
up.
It sounds
This would
just
be
like
the equivalent of fucking Ebonics.
Pretty much, yeah. Actually, in a
Well-
way, they even still are going to have more grasp
Yeah.
on the language.
Yeah,
than
but wasn't Ebonics more like
street slang kind of
slang?
thing?
It was
yeah.
like it was jive for a while, right?
I guess.
Is that not synonymous?
I don't know. It sounds funny when he says it, right? That's what we call jive talk.
That's what it was, though, right? Like there was who was it?
You know what? Look, I got this, bro, because I'm from the streets. Yo, dog, we don't talk like that here. You're welcome.
Look, so the first time,
you got him. It was pretty funny, dude.
yeah, no, the first
we
time,
call that jive.
the first time I was explained it was, you guys remember the movie Airplane?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, why is it that hard for you to fucking understand that I said that right now?
It wasn't that you said it. It was how you said it. It was funny.
Because it was
It
white,
was funny.
white as fuck. I said it white as shit.
You
All
didn't
right.
even be like, "Yo, dog, that was jive you guys used to talk, right?"
It's trying to. You guys.
That was the way it sounded.
I didn't even say that.
Yeah.
It's not even
Did
what I
it not
fucking
say-
said.
What do you mean, you people? That's what you should have said. You missed the golden
I
fucking
didn't even
opportunity.
fucking say that.
Get it out. I couldn't even get it out.
That's not even what I said.
He
Well,
wasn't
run it
being
back, run it
racist.
back.
He
Right,
wasn't-
he
he
wasn't,
wasn't being
but
racist.
it just came off.
It was funny.
like
It
you
was
mean
funny.
jive?
I'm trying to say.
Well, it's a movie. Jive turkey, you just crossed the line, my man.
I'm trying to say.
Look
I'm
here,
trying to
sucker.
ask- I'm trying to ask if they were any different or if they were the same. 'cause
It's
I
the
was
same
led
kind
to
of
believe
concept,
they were
I
the
think,
same.
right?
No, it's completely different.
Okay. Okay.
Street slang is what he's talking
The
about.
first, so the first time anyone ever said jive to me, I was like, "What the fuck is it?" So
First of all-
movie Airplane.
Okay, it was in a movie, not
Yeah.
a human being.
Yeah, he was
actually
saying
said
Well,
it.
no,
It's
somebody said when because so in the movie Airplane, you got the two black dudes that are in there.
and they were speaking jive.
They're speaking jive, right?
Right,
That's how
and
I
then
was
the-
explained to
and
me.
then the white lady
the old
starts
white
like,
lady
yeah.
comes in, yeah. And so the first time she's like, "Oh yeah," and she's like speaking jive to those black guys.
So he's
and I was
basing
like,
it off of that.
Yes, that's how I heard it, and I'm like, "Oh, so it's jive, okay?" Like it didn't.
He's basing it off
If
of
there-
movies because he's
Right.
not from the streets.
If
bro.
there was ever any like negative
what I mean?
connotation towards
you know
that
what I
word, I was unaware of it. So like fucking, there's that. Hey, you guys got your fucking joke. That's fine. I'm just trying to take myself off this fucking cross over here. Fuck all of you.
This is great. I'm having a great time.
Oh wow!
Enjoy the rest of the show, folks.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm just gonna drink the whole time.
First
Fuck
of all,
this.
Jamie, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at fucking Street Boy over here. That's from the street.
You shouldn't be laughing. Yeah, you shouldn't be laughing at streets, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
We'll clap you up, bro. Yo. All right. We say yo a lot too. So yeah. I'm just saying, bro. I'm from the streets, bro.
All right, let's go to fucking something else. We gotta go to something else.
Yeah, so I think we all agree that this is stupid. Do we agree with
Yeah.
this whole pigeon
Just
talk?
like you being from the street.
No, that's science, Steve. Come on. That's just keeping it. I'm just keeping it real, dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next story, Jamie?
I don't know. Where are we at? Where do we lose track?
We lost track right here. All right, next. I got the next one, I guess. I got the next couple. Crazy shit's happening over in Canada at the Cuba embassy. Apparently, I'll just pull up the article here. Apparently, there's a mystery illness going around there, and more staff members are catching it. So what they've done is they've cut the staff in half. And apparently, there was only like 16 people working there, and now there's 8. They just sent fucking everyone else out, gone. There's a mystery illness going around that causes nausea and dizziness. They actually had thought that it might be some sort of a sonic attack at one point, but they've kind of ruled that out at this point. But dude, I don't know, fucking mystery illness happening. We don't know what it is. We don't know what's causing it. And there are even children now being affected by it. It seems to be like it's spreading, and we don't know what it is. It just seems like some scary shit. I just wanted to bring it up and be like, fuck, dude, that's some scary shit.
It's a trip.
Yeah. There's really no other point to this article other than that is
Canada's
fucking scary.
weird.
Canada's weird, dude. Geography's weird.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Well, at least we all know what that's a boat, so we're good to go. Hey.
Geography is a boat.
Hey. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's
didn't
not
have
much we can say about it, but yeah, that's
I didn't have much
interesting.
on that one. I didn't really have much on that one. I just wanted to.
He just wanted to
like
get off that topic, so we're good.
Yeah.
That worked.
Sweet. Nailed it. All right. Next up. Same Bat channel, new Bat news. Okay, Ben Affleck not going to be in the next Batman movie. He's basically passing the torch. They're going to introduce
by popular demand, I assume.
No, it's because he was not a bad Batman.
I know we have disagreements on this, but majority of people do not
You
like
haven't
Ben
even,
Affleck.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, the internet tells you you're supposed to hate him, so you might as well hate him.
Sure.
He was horrible. His acting told me I was supposed to hate him.
Are you kidding me? I don't even want to get into this with you right now.
You thought he was an okay Batman?
He is supposed to be
You thought he was a good Batman.
the Bruce Wayne who is old and doesn't give a fuck anymore and just straight kills people with bullets, which he does.
Yeah, but they should have cast him.
It had nothing to do with how he was supposed to be. The dialogue and the way he delivered it was shit. I'm sorry.
We can agree to disagree, Kenny.
We're going to agree to disagree. That shit was
Yeah,
horrible.
I'm not a big fan of him.
And he ruined Justice League. Ruined it.
Okay.
I'm in between the two. So
Well,
I'm kind of literally, I'm in between the two. But on the
Ruined
opinion of him as Batman, I didn't
so-
like him though. But it was not
Yeah,
horrible.
the fucking kid who played the Flash ruined.
Oh,
Justice
yeah.
League.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
So he ruined it, and so did The Flash. Their adaptation of The Flash, which I'm a huge Flash fan, pissed me off. It's garbage.
Yeah.
Like, they tried to make it way too much like the new Spider-Man, and
He
the
wasn't
suit is fucking horrible.
He wasn't cocky enough.
Nope.
Did you ever see
Yeah.
the Flash TV show, the one that's?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, so it's kind of loosely based on him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They
Even-
kind of took
even-
stuff from it, but they made it their own.
The thing is, I liked the TV show.
He was pretty good, the guy
Yeah.
that played him. I thought he was
Because
pretty good.
towards the last couple episodes or the new seasons or whatever, he became cocky.
Right.
As
He worked
to-
into it
right,
kind of thing.
As to where this dude is just like, it was
Yeah.
just awful. Man.
Well, they were kind of saying he was already established, kind of, weren't they? I don't remember. I've only seen it once, the Justice League.
No, they were just trying to say he just like
Got his power.
kind of got his powers and was like going to work at the crime lab or whatever. It's just horrible. It's like,
Yeah, I'm not a big DC
yeah, it was
universe
garbage.
person too much, except for Batman. I do like him, but not a big fan.
Yeah, Ben
So-
Affleck.
Yeah, you too, right? I think you're more Marvel, right? You
Right,
said,
yeah.
Ultimately, All right. Well, so anyways, they're going to replace him. And what was the reasoning you were saying? That was right.
Because they're playing a younger Batman.
They're going to bring him back to like a younger.
The more compassionate, the more I care for my city.
What everyone's used to.
I don't want to kill people. Yeah. So there's going to be a different Batman.
Are they trying to make another Suicide Squad?
Part 2, right? I thought.
Oh wow.
I thought it was supposed to be happening.
I don't think so. If they're going to make another Suicide Squad, and it's going to be Part 2, Ben Affleck will be Batman again because he was Batman in the first one. So if that's the case,
if they even bring him into it, right?
This is a new Batman movie in the same lineup or in the same, I guess, universe that the original one happened with the Ben Affleck Batman, along with Batman vs Superman and the Justice League, right, and Suicide Squad. It's going to be a prequel, I believe.
Right, so it's not going to be based off the Frank Miller Batman year one. That's what
I don't.
That's the character
so.
that Ben Affleck was based on.
Okay.
So that's why he was a darker, more with the bullets and still horrible
throwing knives
dialogue,
into people and shit.
All right.
Yeah. But we all know
squishing bugs
that I am the Batman. This is all fake news.
Here we go with this shit. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's definitely now move along to the next story before we get him started.
So our next topic is going to be again with PG&E and the bankruptcy
bastards.
and what it means to, for us here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll tap over to this here.
This whole thing pisses me off. So PG&E's filing for bankruptcy based off that they're predicting that because of the future lawsuits that they're going to incur, the $31+ billion in surplus they have.
Yeah, they were irresponsible and they set the fire, and then they're projecting that all the lawsuits coming
are
in
going to make them bankrupt. Yep. So it's not that they are bankrupt because their debt. So right now PG&E is worth $79-point-something billion. They have like 50-something billion in debt, which leaves them with a surplus of $31 billion. Right? I
find that shocking.
So technically, by the term and the definition of bankruptcy, they're not bankrupt. So California was trying to actually stop them from filing bankruptcy because by the definition, the
Chapter 11, right?
Dictionary term of it, you're not bankrupt. But some judge fucking let this go through, and so now they're going to file for bankruptcy.
And now bankruptcy is just a way to protect themselves so they won't get everything taken.
Here's the thing. So the people that are suing them currently can still sue them. It's protecting them from future lawsuits. So they'll have they have $106 million for lawsuits now, and then they were trying to actually hold off. So they actually waited to file the response papers for the lawsuits from frickin' the San Bruno explosion. They haven't even paid that off yet. That was when they filed bankruptcy the first time.
2001?
2000, right?
2001, I believe.
Yeah. So 18 years ago, they still haven't paid the people off for San Bruno, even though they got a loan or funding for the $106 million they set aside for that. But they were trying to wait to actually even file the paperwork or the response for that,
right?
So they wouldn't have to pay it.
And then all their rhetoric has been that it's not going to affect customers, it's not going to affect the service, which it probably won't, but it will affect you in the pocketbook, though.
Right.
That's where it's going to affect you.
We're already currently paying. If you look on your PG&E bill, it's there's a thing on there. It's called RB106 or something that you're paying for. That was from when they went bankrupt the last time.
Right.
So we're still paying for that 18 years later, and now they're trying to pass, which they did pass this, I think it was last September.
Yeah, it was.
Where they petitioned the Energy Council to add to each person's bill in 2020 $10.75 extra.
I think it was in November. It's right after all the fires and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Without us voting on it or anything, the Department of Energy was just like, yeah, that's cool. You can charge.
Well, they're a corporation.
Right.
They're a corporation that has monopoly on everything, and the government ultimately is protecting them.
Right.
So they're acting like the government's acting like they're on your side by putting this law in, right? But ultimately, government is actually protecting them with the bankruptcy laws.
Exactly.
So they make laws. This is what we talk about a lot. You make laws, and then they find another, just like we were talking about with the tariffs, they're going to find another freaking law to, skirt.
So,
or a loophole.
What is it? The Department of Energy something group just gave PG&E an award for like outstanding.
Yeah, it's like an energy rating system thing.
And it's like, dude, these dudes are
saw that.
horrible. So they
Sorry.
oh, it's okay. So they're currently now also there's like if I'm not mistaken, like 10 million that they're supposed to give in bonuses to their employees that they're trying to fight. We'll find out tomorrow because PG&E goes back to court, that they're trying to fight to keep in order to give their employees bonuses. Mind you, the CEO that just left got a freaking severance package for like $4 million for doing a horrible job.
And then here's the thing. People outside of what we're talking about on this podcast actually will say that that's capitalism.
Yeah, and it's not.
Not.
When you have, okay, so here's the thing. So if they do file the
Chapter
Chapter 11 right now, there are people that are suing and saying that the board that's there now should be dissolved because the board that's there are at least 6 members that are still on the board from the San Bruno thing.
Jesus Christ.
So
I didn't know that.
You have people that have run this company in the ground already filed 1 bankruptcy. Instead of them getting rid of them and going in a different direction, we're just going to keep doing business the same way. So those people are still there on the board for 18 years. They don't vote new people in. It's kind of like once you're elected in, you stay in until you like die, and then they elect.
Yeah, the 2001 was when they were having those rolling blackouts. I forgot about that shit. It didn't really affect us too much here, but they were having it all over. I remember that on the news.
There's a judge that's trying to make it to where PG&E has to upgrade their system. We know the infrastructure they have is a failed infrastructure. It has been said that the camp fire that just happened, the Butte County fire, one of their transformers, the hook, failed right before that fire started.
Yeah. So when you guys have hooks above your campfire, be very aware.
Yeah.
When
exactly.
you go camping.
The infrastructure that is built on California has grown leaps and bounds. It can't.
Oh, population's insane compared to what it was.
It can't handle
even from
the
2001.
demand. Right. Not only that. So there are different like resources and everything, like we were talking last week about, like, solar energy and wind and turbine energy.
Yeah, because we all talked about this kind of
how they kind of like block that and
turbine
kind of
energy.
Like turbines. Yeah, that's why we went to war in Iraq.
Yeah,
so.
and stopped it from happening because they're, like you said, they're a monopoly. They want us to need their source of power and everything that's going on.
Yeah, Jamie, I find Kenny's analysis electrifying. Yeah,
you're a fucking dork. Anyways, so the whole thing is tomorrow.
It's all very shocking.
Right.
Yeah.
Frankly,
it's Wednesday here now in the bunker.
I used that one earlier and it went flat too.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Crickets. That one didn't work as well for some reason.
I don't know. It's just too easy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Anyways. So basically, look for price increases.
Sure,
and
that's 100% going to happen.
Yeah,
we all agree with this,
them
right?
Basically, doing business as usual,
Yeah.
under the guise of being bankrupt. But when you're a large corporation and you're backed by the government, you're allowed to do these things.
Yeah, you have all these loopholes and protections.
Right. But if it was you or me, and we
if it was a mom and pop store, they would have been fucked.
Oh yeah,
they would have closed their door, and that would have
Right.
been a free market kind of thing.
Exactly.
And if they didn't have a monopoly on the power because of the government, there would be other competing factions. Like there would be other companies doing that, and also like all this. They all talk about this green energy shit, and I'm not. I say it that way, but I'm not. I'm actually being like funny about it, but. There should be that should the real way. Right. So it shouldn't be like where they're trying to push all these things where it's pushing it back into the grid. It should be self-powering your house. Like, why do we have to have it go back into the grid? That should just go into your fucking house. Well, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
There is such thing. Okay, so if
because it's illegal in certain areas to even do that. Have your own power source.
Right. Well, but there is such thing that happens where you can produce so much power.
Yeah, it goes back into the system.
You put so much back into the grid that they actually pay you.
Yeah, the command bunker has that.
So good.
Here at the command bunker, we do have that.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, if you fucking.
But that's what I'm saying. They should be pushing
they
where
should be
people should individually be power, have their own power sources.
But here's the thing:
instead of collective power,
monopoly,
basically.
a monopoly on it. That's all I was saying.
They made it so expensive to initially get started that your average homeowner can't afford it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
It's like $20,000 to fucking put solar panels on your roof.
And that's not even like good ones.
Yeah, but so the same. But the same thing goes on with these because what's happening? They're getting government subsidies
Right.
to do this shit.
Right.
So your taxpayer dollars are being paid for partially my solar panels.
Right.
I
Exactly.
didn't make the choice, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't have done it. Fuck that shit. Yeah.
So they are
So,
talking about breaking
the
up.
general of the command bunker made.
Right. They are talking about, though, there's a couple senators and different lawmakers that are talking about breaking up PG&E and not having it be such the large conglomerate that it is, because it's now fit. This is the second time they failed due to their negligence.
And
Not-
what sucks is that I guarantee you that, so that's good on the surface. It should be
Right.
broken up, but it shouldn't be broken up because government's forcing it.
Right.
You should backtrack it. Me and Jamie are having this conversation where you have this, like, this is your problem up here, and you draw two lines down to the simplest conclusion, right? Your truth, and your truth is the government shouldn't have their hand in it. So instead of breaking up the power industry that is a fucking monopoly run by government, instead of that, what's the end all? Well, government shouldn't be controlling that in the first fucking place.
Yeah, so take the government out of it and see
Yeah.
how it fucking does on its own.
Because then you
If
wouldn't
it
have had that
fails-
fucking problem.
If it fails, hopefully through some sort of competition, then we have
Absolutely, you have other
the
backups.
free market, right?
Right. And people, if that was happening, people would have those garage designers, like the regular Joes, like making weird inventions to power. Look at all the people that are surviving, like out in the outback, or not in the outback, but in Australia. See, I went there. Alaska. Geography's
There
weird.
you go. Yeah, geography's so weird.
Alaska, right? They're surviving up there, and they're making all these weird inventions and stuff to power their houses, right? So they're using solar panels, but they're also using water. They're using wind. They're using other things.
We should be using DC instead of AC anyway, but
I don't know anything about that, so I like Marvel better, but
it's cheaper to produce.
Yeah, Marvel
and
comics are way better
and
than DC.
It's a lot less dangerous, actually. But because Edison was popular and Tesla,
That was the whole
Edison
Tesla-
was a dick, like that whole thing
Yeah.
where he like electrocuted fucking elephants and shit.
yeah.
Ooh.
God, it was a fucking
So like
brutal.
because Edison had money and power, he basically bankrupted Tesla and
yeah.
stole a bunch of fucking.
That stuff's
patents and
interesting. I've
everything
watched a
else.
bunch of stuff on Tesla,
Yeah.
but I still don't grasp it all because there's a lot going on. And TV shows, when you watch the TV show stuff, it's kind of like
Yeah,
History Channel
I have
shit.
a couple books that you can check out.
Yeah.
That's like pretty dope. So
Alrighty. So we
So,
good
yeah.
on this whole
So,
thing. We all know that we're everyone's PG&E bills are going to go up.
right, expect that.
Yeah.
know that's gonna happen
Due to
not
the,
as much as you don't want it to happen.
bankruptcy.
It is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much be ready.
It's inevitable.
Right. So they have a plan to do
Some bullshit.
so in 2020 it'll be the 1075, but then in 2025 they have it mapped out to borrow 486 million, and then in like 2030 something it's like another 500 and some million that they have predicted to borrow PG&E because they're not going to make it if they keep going at this rate.
Government bailout shit.
Pretty much.
Weird.
Just like the
Who'da thought?
Airlines.
the big three.
The airlines, the railroads have all been bailed out. The banks.
Right.
Who'd have fucking thought?
Yeah, it's not free market capitalism. So when people at home, you guys hear people saying, "Oh, well, that's capitalism because we did this, this, and this." Well, no, it's government.
Right.
So don't buy into that lie.
The largest corporation in America is the United States government.
Yeah, we've never even as far as I'm aware of,
Federal
even in
Reserve.
our founding, we've never had pure capitalism. So we've always had some kind of intervention of government of some sort.
Even
So
though
we've never
it's
had-
written that it's not supposed to be that
Right.
way.
Yeah, we've never had pure capitalism.
So it's
Just
been
so you guys
corrupt
know.
from the fucking
Yeah.
beginning.
So, just like all the socialists are like, well, we never had true socialism, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
I could
did
argue
we?
that you did.
Right.
All right. So, anyways, what do we got going here?
That's kind of all we got for this evening, guys. I got the wrap up. And,
That's it?
Yeah, that's
Alright.
it.
Oh.
Rabbity
So, you guys got anything you want to talk about real quick?
Nope.
No?
I had nothing else planned for this evening.
Nothing? You guys ever misjudge anyone? Like, misevaluate, I would even say? Like,
Yes.
All the fucking time.
Yeah. So you guys got any examples? So I'll use one example that I used earlier in the show, actually, and that's what made me kind of think about it, is like when you're doing what we were talking about your alertness and scanning everyone, like sometimes those little dudes or some guy that looks like he's not a threat, it could be a lady for a matter of fact, you know what I mean? Like it could be anyone. Don't misjudge them. because we saw in that video that was a female that most guys would be like, oh, she's blonde. She maybe, I don't know. We didn't really get to see her too well. Yeah. She could be cute, and then she's carrying a fucking axe. What the fuck?
So can I go into the backstory on that?
Sure. Yeah, I don't know the whole backstory.
Oh, so
she was on drugs, though. I do know that.
So it was on MDH or something like that. Some like kind of love drug or whatever. It was a Tinder date that went bad. And so they wrote like on their Facebook page that human beings don't deserve to live and blah blah blah.
You're saying she did.
So yeah, so earlier that day she was like, she's the president of some kind of union thing that went wrong. And then
what the fuck?
Yeah, and it used to be a him.
Oh
yeah, so
sweet.
So the day just went bad. So something that they had going on for their union went wrong. The Tinder date they had didn't happen and went bad. And then so
she got hella high.
Yeah, and basically had like marijuana, alcohol, and MDH or something else. In her
some
system.
other drug. Yeah. Wow.
What the fuck's MDH?
So MDH is basically kind of like a date rape drug. It kind of makes you kind of like lucid to where you don't remember like what's going on.
GHB?
No. Like, so MDH is okay. So
I never heard that one.
So when you take ecstasy, the part that makes you feel like all touchy-feely and like
MDMA?
Yeah, MDMA.
So I got this one from the streets. So it's kind of like heroin, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
you're welcome.
Whatever. The reason why they caught her is because she passed out.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you read the article, it goes in the reason why they were able to catch her. She passed out a little bit after she axed those people.
Fucking.
Hey man, and the whole thing.
Wait, what did she ask him? So I had to.
Yeah.
I had to.
Here's the crazy part.
Probably racist.
So the reason
too.
why this story is like super big is because this happened 2 years ago or something like that. She only got 4 years.
Wow.
Holy shit.
So the guy that got the axe to the face is trying to say, because it's in Australia.
I think I did. Yeah, I did read that part.
Attempted murder is normally a 10-year sentence, but because I don't know why,
I could guess
2 counts of attempted murder, and she only got 4 years. The only reason why the lady survived is because of her dreadlocks. Basically protected her.
That was a lady?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a lady.
I thought that was a dude.
I thought it was a dude.
Yeah. The lady that had the dreadlocks only did it with a skull fracture.
Yeah.
The guy
but then we're assuming
only.
gender, so I mean,
the guy that got axed in the face had to have like reconstructive surgery, and he's got like 4 titanium plates in his face, and
fucking dude, savage, dude.
Fucking
and just to be clear,
split his
for everyone
melon.
at home, the date had nothing to do with that guy.
No,
or either of the people that got attacked.
They were just strangers.
Yeah, the person that was carrying the axe, she walked in there with axe, and she was already fucked up.
Right, but she had premeditated that she was gonna kill people.
She's carrying the axe. I would.
Well, no, she put it on her Facebook that she was. She's like, one day I'm gonna kill people, and you guys aren't gonna.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she should have got more time for that.
Yeah, definitely. 4 years.
Yeah, and she should be in a psych ward or some shit.
Yeah.
Not like just. Jail.
Well, no. So her lawyers tried to use the insanity plea for it, but they were like, "Yeah, no, that's not gonna work."
Well, if they could prove that it was definitely drugs, but still at the same time,
well,
dude,
they said
because
it
be
was
crazy
like premeditated because of the Facebook post and everything. So,
but I would argue that she needs both.
Yeah, a lot of therapy.
Yeah. All right. So we got that out of the way. Now that that's good that we brought that up.
Fucking brutal. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right, Jamie. You gonna bring us out of this bitch with the old wrap up? Actually, go with the social media stuff real fast.
That's right. So make sure you follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Follow us on Twitter, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram. We don't have a Snapchat yet. We are definitely on Pornhub. You can look us up. You can also go to the shirt T. Correct? Is that what it?
Spreadshirt.
Spreadshirt.
Yeah.
To get merch on there. I was actually on there today showing someone, and they were going to purchase some things, so it's pretty cool.
So it's shop.spreadshirt.com /Grim86.
And if you go to our Facebook
page,
it's the
you can
first,
actually just click it.
Yeah, it's the first message that's pinned to the top of the message board.
Right. Yeah. So
we made it easy.
There you go.
Ish.
Follow us.
Yeah, buy some
like
merch.
us.
Buy some merch,
subscribe,
asshole. That's the first part of the wrap up. Buy some merch, asshole.
Comment, share, like, subscribe. Make sure everyone is following us.
Yeah. Yes.
Everyone.
And another thing.
Joe Rogan watches his show and takes notes because I've been watching a lot of his shows and he's doing a lot of science. So I'm pretty sure that
I feel like because
he has people that he hires to watch our show.
I feel like because you said his name, this is not going to be uploadable to YouTube.
Yeah.
Not only that,
Yeah, we've used his name.
We
before.
keep getting
on a
fucked.
more
We use his name
on a
before.
more important note, those of you
We love
that,
Joe Rogan, by the way.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Do you watch his show?
Really?
I do.
The shirts that people won will be coming next week.
Oh, debatable.
No. So we're gonna do that Friday, and then they should be here, right? Or how long? Is it?
Friday's in 2 days.
No, I know that.
Could we do it
Okay.
now? Like right after
No,
we're
we
done?
can't.
No. Okay. All right. Just asking.
Unless we're gonna rob the website.
So, we'll talk. Once again, we'll talk off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
So the winners will be getting their shirts soon.
Yes, very soon.
All right.
Some of you might be getting extra smalls.
Stupid.
Just kidding. They don't make extra small.
Yeah, we know that the hard
checked,
way. Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay.
Bring us
Okay,
out, brother.
Let's do the wrap up here. So, don't fuck with my North Pole, asshole. I like it where it is.
Yeah.
My compass fucking works. Leave
Right.
it alone, okay?
Yeah, stop it.
If you like the Super Bowl, you like human trafficking, asshole.
Yeah. Fuck yes.
All right,
That was beautiful.
The whole situational awareness. Lady with an axe, watch your ass. Hole.
Is that what you're gonna say? Oh, he has it typed up there.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice.
I'm sorry, I ruined your joke.
That's fine.
Well, debatable. Not really.
All right. So with the whole fucking gun safety, finger off the trigger, asshole. Simple
Chitty,
shit.
chitty, bang, bang.
Yeah.
All right. And don't forget to take a good long look at Uranus. Asshole. Yes.
That was great. That
All
was
right.
good. All right.
The last one I got for you guys is don't visit the Cuba embassy in Canada, asshole. Like, Jesus, people are getting sick. We don't know why.
Yeah.
That's some scary shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want
All right.
ass cancer, so don't go there.
Ass cancer.
Sure.
That's just two
What?
things you don't
I don't
ever
know.
wanna
It's
have
what
put
they have,
together.
bro. It's a mystery fucking disease,
We
and I
never
named
know.
it.
Yeah, we
You
never know.
named it
Ass
ass
cancer.
cancer?
Sure. It might not have anything to do with it. It just
All
sounds
right,
cool.
we're out of here.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Thank you very much for joining us once again. This has been episode number 25 of the Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. We really appreciate all you guys do for us, watching, supporting,
streets.
commenting. Hit us up on Facebook. We love to chat with you guys. It's been a good one. We'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Yeah.